people piling in here. Late day Q&A trade ideas. Let people pile in. See if we can't get some questions going. Big update for the market today, it looks like. Green all over the board. Who doesn't like a day like that? So again, open forum here. Fire away some questions. Mike C, how are you? Good to have you in here, buddy. Hopefully you're having yourself a stellar green day today. All right, so we got a question. Perfect, Blake. Will you be able to select new drop down option and open tray eye windows? See what the conservative moderates tab show. I could show you conservative moderate here. Even if I open a new one though, it's going to be set. So this is Blake, what I was talking about yesterday, what I emailed you. This here where it says how many shares I took and it's telling me what my max profit was and moderate profit and all that. That's based on risking $100 per stop loss. All right. Sorry, just talking with my media guy to make sure that we're all right with some of the things we're trying to do here, so implementing some new stuff. So all right, Blake, if you come here on this, you go to tools, options, and AI trade size. This is how I did that. I'm risking $100 based on the stop loss. All right. You could do it. You want to take 100 shares per trade or $1,000 per trade or whatever you want to put in there. That's how this shows that like this. And so by clicking on conservative, well, let me close this, of course. By clicking on conservative, now it's going to give me conservative based on the columns that I want to see. So you got your conservative profit here based on $100 risk, so on and so forth. All right. Let me know if that makes a little more sense. All right, I'm gonna hopefully that answers. Yeah, switch mine 100 stop loss today. Did the exact same thing, but when I click conservative moderate tabs, the exit prices are the same. The exit price here on this is always going to show the conservative exit, no matter what. Doesn't matter what you click on. Always going to show conservative exit here because the exit price on moderate is always a 4 o'clock exit. According to this here. So that's why. No matter what you are, no matter what you go into, Blake. It's going to show the conservative exit right here on that price. This here, always conservative, no matter what you do. So watch here. I'll show you. I'm on conservative right now. You can see it's highlighted blue. Click to moderate. Same thing here. The only thing that's going to change is showing the profit based on that. So hopefully that gets you all squared away there. And again, fire away other questions. That's what I'm here for. I'm happy to demonstrate. Nod your head. Yes, we like NVIDIA's action today, don't we? Let's take a look. I have had my head buried in all kinds of stuff today. I'll be honest. I made one trade. It started to wobble on me. I just jumped out of it because I was distracted and couldn't really follow the trade well. Oh yeah, that's Well, that'll help lift the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's up 230 right now, it looks like. I don't know what that looks like on the Qs exactly. Let's take a look at the Qs. So yeah, the Qs look almost exactly like Nvidia. That's so funny. I expected nothing less, but chop, 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 range bound, range bound, range bound. So now, we gapped up over the 20-day on the Qs, and obviously we're going to hold it. I don't think we'll see any major selling off here into the close. I mean, anything is possible, of course. I just don't think we'll close that gap and fall below it. But, like I say, anything's possible. 50 looms over it. And so, you put if you're a Bulls bear kind of person, you put one in the feather of the cap of the Bulls today. They get the win, they get the nod. Same thing here. The SPY, same kind of price action. This line continues to be my kind of line in the sand. We're well above the 20 now on the daily and ran right smack into the 50. I'm sure no happy accident there. So that's, that's that. Who doesn't like a good bull market? So, most of us I think are long biased as traders. I think most of the traders that are short traders are, more intraday traders and not betting long-term short stuff anyways. So, I do like that. I like to see a nice clean chart like NVIDIA like that was today, though, for sure, Mike C. So Blake makes sense. Is there change? And moderate positions open until I close them manually. If you were in automation, they will close out, I believe, at 355 in automation. Actually, it's a sell on close order for 355. Otherwise, you can manually do it. And then the other thing, you could always do is, I don't have anything open right now, but let's go and let's connect to Trade Ideas Simulated. And just for example, let's go ahead and buy the SPY. Or let's buy whatever, it doesn't even matter. SSS, market, one share, buy. Anything you have a position of is going to show up in the orders tab over here there, Blake. All right. So if you want to, I hit it twice. So if you want to cancel the orders, you want to modify the orders, you can modify things here. All right. You can cancel here, or, you can cancel it here. All right. So we can cancel these orders. I can click and highlight, click highlight, cancel. All right. Those orders are going to cancel to go red. Sorry, everything's a little slow for me right now, running a lot of stuff. Do we close? Eventually it'll show canceled. And then you can come here and modify the order if you want. You could right click and go, add a time stop, add a target, add a stop, do all that kind of stuff like that. So that's how that goes. I'm not sure why I'm having an issue with canceling these orders right now. Unfriendly. And so that's how that will go. But you're going to find the orders in here, or you can find the orders in Trader Workstation, assuming that you are using IB. And then Chris, when using the doc channel bar, is there a way to make changes to pricing parameters in various channels and have those changes saved for next time you open that channel? The only way you could do that, Vin, is to save the channel as an actual layout. So for example, if we come to new, because the channels we save on our server, so they're going out to all of our users. So new doc channel bar. It's going to open here, all right, and let's just say we bring up, I don't know, bring up short squeeze for fun. I think that's a channel we can work with here. All right, whatever changes we want to make in here, all right, we're going to go ahead and right click, save or share to cloud, click entire layout, all right, and call it my short squeeze channel. and save it. And sorry. And that's going to be here now. So if we close this, file, load from cloud, and there it is right there as a layout. And you know it's a layout because it has this TI logo instead of an A for an alert window, for example, or a T for a top list. And that's the only way around that, because we're putting that out from our servers out to everybody. So it's not saved locally for you. So hopefully that answers that part of that, Vin. Also, is there a way to add your own scan into a docked channel page? So Vin, it would be the same thing. Add your scan into it and then just save that layout exactly like we just showed you. So any changes that you make, just save it as that, save it into your cloud, and it'll be there forever and ever and ever until the sun blows up and we're all gone. Yeah, Blake, happy to help. That's why I'm trying to do this here. Want to get everybody the most that we can, get them the most educated, up to speed, and a lot to this platform. But I think the more live education people can get, the better off they're going to be. Better off your trading will be. Better off everybody is. We win together like that. So that's how that kind of goes. Again, fire away the questions here. If there's no questions, I'll attempt to dive into a Holly recap. But please interrupt those at any point for those questions. I think I'm caught up with a couple of questions out of here. Yeah, so let's dive Holly. Last few days, again, we started with the good. Let's go with some in between here. So TROX. I'm going to expand this out a little bit because it keeps wanting to pop back up on me here. So TROX on support 10:01, 26 a.m. Long strategy here for Holly. And get the handy drawing tool. We take an entry price at 25.43, conservative. She exits at 25.43. So really, she was flat in conservative. She took a re-entry here at 25.24, and that also happened at 2:20. So a couple of things going on with this here. But she's briefly in the money off this candle all through here. All right. So you had a little bit of time to try to get out with some money. You can see that the max profit target says 52. What that means is that based on my share sizing, risking $100 for that stop loss at the max in the conservative time that she was in this trade, 52 and 20 cents on that profit based on that entry and that stop share sizing. All right. So you had a little bit of time to get in there. There's a little bit of spread to be had. As a trader, what I would have noticed is, all right, we have the gap up. We're testing that gap up. Basically, we're just below it. We're banging on it. We're banging on it. We're banging on it. That may or may not be something you want to get in. It's very range bound. Seem a little edge to the sellers on this side. Perhaps you see here this candle. You think maybe the buyers are going to take it, but there's no breakout there. Next candle opens right at it and begins to drop immediately. So there's no real edge on that. And with that big wick up here, that made it very tough, I think, for the buyers to get back up to that level again after these two opening 15-minute candles there. If you had got it, if you were, on the money right here, within a few cents, yes, you had a short period of time that you could have taken a little bit of profits, but, be realistic here at a 25.43 entrance and topping out around 25.60. You'd have had to been nimble, all right, and you certainly would have been trigger happy on that for sure. So that's, kind of an in-between as far as that goes. I see, Ignacio, you got, I didn't understand why the AI said long with CRISPR and 10 minutes later said short. Could I explain that? Yes, two different strategies. So she came with two different, all these strategies she came with today that you see listed here, all right? And if stock meets the criteria of any of these strategies, it'll fire. The AI doesn't know that it fired a long, fired short. It just knows that it fired. That's all it knows. And it manages each trade independently of each other. So it doesn't go back. It doesn't have a logic to say, hey, we're already in CRISPR as a long. We can't do it as a short. So if we take a look here on the short bull trap, all right, and then we take a look here, pushing the spring, all right. They're within 5 minutes of each other. Let's take a look at the chart of CRISPR and bring it up. All right, so pushing the spring has to do with this wick coming down here and coming off that wick, all right? Bull trap a few minutes later, though, has this going on here, all right, and this down candle, and this move, all right, where it looked like it was going to take out, it's looking for it to take out the previous candle's range and doesn't. It's not exactly how the algo goes with taking out that previous candle range, but the idea is it looks like it's making for a breakout, and it's going to be a false breakout essentially on the daily chart here. And so for those two reasons, that's why that ended up happening. Kind of textbook here, a couple of things, technical pattern wise here. Regardless of the entries, you get a red bar ignore here on this 15 minutes, so it's real strong there off that. And then you could call this a bull flag right there. So there's your pull, there's your flag, and there's your move back up again. And plenty of time to take some profit on that. So just the kind of way the algorithms work today there, Ignacio. They were both, had just like any alert window, it has, whatever filters were in there. For example, position and range filters. I don't know if the catalyst is a new high, a new 5-minute high, the position in, some kind of ATR range. I would imagine maybe a 15-minute range, things like that. All those filters, how you build any scan, that's how Holly's essentially built, but very complicated. And then optimize and back tested daily. So those two strategies, they found CRISPR for whatever reason, whatever was going on in CRISPR at that time, met all the filters and alert sets, and made that alert like that. Let me know if I go into any other question or some other detail that you want about that. See, Tom, forgot the name, who said made an update user's guide, but whoever did it, they deserve a raise. Has a wealth of Steffi. She's more in the back of some of the things that we're doing for support. If you have tickets that come in, especially in the overnight, she's usually in around 4:00 in the morning answering tickets. Actually, she gets in about an hour and a half before I get in most mornings. So that's where you'll see her. If you ever send something into info@trade-ideas.com, she'll be the one answering there, but she's the one that built it. She's just an incredible person to work with. Lucky to work with the team that I work with here. So thanks, Tom. I'm going to pass that along. Actually, let me do this. Screenshot that, Tom. Post that. So again, fire away. See what you got in here for me. So hog 1055, 5-minute candlestick, making higher with unusual options activity scanner alert. Hog. I didn't get that one on mine. Wonder why I didn't get it. I don't know. Barry makes adjustments to these, and never sure when he makes some of those adjustments on that scan. So, but this is what I had coming through there. This was a really nice one there that came through NRXP. Pretty clean for those 45 plus minutes, and you had this wobble up here to get out off that. You had a long time to get out with some money on that trade. Trade management, best scanner in the world. You can't manage that trade, it won't matter though. This one, not so much. I set an alert. I saw that alert come. I saw it come through. I set an alert to see if it could break 8. It didn't. I don't think it's any happy accident that lines up with this here. Mark up horizontal line. Marks up with that little step down that it ended up taking after that support level back here, resistance level, whatever you want to call it. So no happy accident there. Nothing to write home to mom about there either. And I didn't pay attention to these alerts because I was busy. Came on 1059. A little bit on there, not a ton, but certainly a little bit of alpha to be had on there, without a doubt. 20 cents, give or take. And TIPT, late day alert, nothing doing there. So I feel like I saw that come in somewhere else earlier today. Maybe I'm crazy. Perhaps I reset this window is what happened, I think. during the day I'm running scans and people think scans aren't working for them. I load them. Sometimes I lose my layout. It gets reset. So on and so forth. So we'll jump back into some Holly again though. So we covered Trox, kind of covered CRISPR a little bit. There's another stop out here, but this, or no, it wasn't a stop out. Excuse me. It was a reduced risk. However, it was in the money for a minute here. It's one of those stocks that if you decided to jump right on it, very whippy through here. And so you had time, set an alert, set a price target to get out with a few pennies there. Came and touched the stop down here, but never actually got stopped out during the day though. But same kind of concept here, looking at it as a trader's eye, you've got this gap up, all right? Want to go chasing that. You got these moving averages, all right? Just trying to find that range. And during finding that range, it drops. So that's kind of what I saw there from the AI. Not much else to write home about that one, kind of one of those ones you just don't want to jump right in on some of these right away. And especially, let's shrink this back down now, actually. So you can see, when doing 6 times what it's normally doing over 10 days, might not be something you want to jump right into. But that's the bad. She was way up today overall, and take a look at some manageable ones here. So beautiful alert off this. I happened to trade it myself, but I traded it off a different alert, and I don't know if whoever was mentioned this ticker the other day, OCGN, you get a big shout out right now. It was on my radar for the last couple of days, and today it made that made this break or whatever, going right here off a gap down from yesterday. I saw it start to make that break, and I thought to myself, this is something I'm interested in. So I jumped on it on the 9 break, and I was never disappointed on it. Jumped in it really early, actually, very uncharacteristic for me. But I liked what it was doing. I liked what I saw. And so that's what I did. I made the break there. Holly decided to get in the action a candle after I did. And a pretty textbook here. We make a range, all right, and that range is broken to the upside versus the other AI alert we just covered where the range was broken to the downside instead. And it was, pretty clean going up through here, right through all that. 5-minute chart, beautiful 5-minute chart as well, and just never any pain on this. I don't think it's any happy accident. Once again, if we look at where we started to stall out, again, support and resistance lines, they're never to the T, but they're certainly, you got that whoopsie, if you want to call it whatever there. Everybody's looking at that level. So no happy accident that it started to stall at that level right there. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful alert from the AI. Plenty of time to get into that alert. Plenty of time on that range. Lots of time to get in. Lots of time to get out. Yeah, Microsoft is having itself a day. Let's take a look, Mike C. Let's take a look. Daily Microsoft. Very nice breakout. Closing real strong here too on the day. Let's take a 15-minute SPY over here real quick, and we can see we started to fade here on the SPY for a minute, and we did not get a fade on Microsoft. Microsoft continued to move very nicely with that. Of course, NASDAQ traded stock. NASDAQ's pulling up again. Last I looked, the NAS was at 230. Now it's up 242 and change. So, just a strong day from the market. Who knows where it leads to next? Are we range bound? Do we gap back down tomorrow? Are we headed for all-time highs again? Your guess is as good as mine, but strong day. Played the price action that we got. So going into tomorrow looks like a strong day for sure. What else do we have from the AI that was outstanding? So GRWG. All right. Cuts like a knife. So we did it from the long side. She does it from the short side today. It's always friendly for me when she has a good day like this. And so this is the candle that we're getting in on here. And we see a big move up. All right. And we get a big reversal on it. On a daily chart, not a whole lot to see here. Been in a big downtrend. All right. Gardens, farms, supplies, all that. All right. So not much of an edge there as far as sectors go. It's not a sector that really moves too much. I believe the sector ticker is MOO, as a matter of fact, MOO. Doesn't trade much. But we could see we start to get a topping pattern, and anything that runs up on these moving averages like this is bound to pull back at some point. She makes that entrance. She gets right in the money right away. All right. She left it on a timed exit, which means she just left it only a few moments ago here. Previous candle. You could even say that, staying range bound here. And that breakdown again. All right. So same kind of theme that we were seeing. We saw it with OCGN, and we also saw it on the reverse with SPIR, in the sense that these things went range bound and they broke to the side of the range that ended up being the way it went for the rest of the day. So again, jumping right up on all of these trades might not have been a good idea today. You had plenty of time to get an entry on every single one of these. So again, man and machine. All right. You see that alert comes in. All right. Here is the alert. We could set, a price alert if we want. We could set a horizontal line here. All right. And we can see this range that's going on here. All right. So, these are things we could do as a trader. And as we see it break this range here, it's banging on it, banging on it, banging on it. Buyers try to get it up, can't get it through. Bangs on it, and finally just a nice clean release, pressured on by the 8 EMA on that 15 all day long. So it's the good, the bad, and the ugly from Holly. I mean, pins, another nice entry here, another nice move. All right, get you early. All right. She makes a quick move on it on the 15-minute chart. You got time to get in as the moving averages catch up. You get range bound again, and another nice move up on that today. So, a lot of good stuff here from the AI. It's nice when it does this. It has its bad days. There's no question about it. It has its good days too. So you can make an attempt here calling this a bull flag. Once again, that's right there. It really should be 3 candles moving that way, not 2, but not everything in technical analysis is perfect. So again, open forum with this here. So if someone's got some questions, please chime in. Take a look at Lending Club LC. One of those stocks that I believe a couple of years ago was a $3 or $4 stock, and now I think it's a $30 stock. Am I right? Yeah. Beautiful chart. I wouldn't go chasing it now, but the way it's curling off this cross on these moving averages like that, just really beautiful. You could also take it and say, had this gap up, and this move into that gap. All right. We pulled back, and the 20-day position low and range caught it, and it banged on it, it banged on it, it banged on it, it banged on it. And while it didn't bang on it every single day, couldn't get back through that. All right. Couldn't get back through that level. All right. Today was that day was that setup day, and just gap, and it went from that day. So beautiful chart. And again, patterns that I like. Right now, again, I'm always biased. I'm always going to see it. It's what I want to see. Sometimes it helps me, sometimes it hurts me, but I can admit it. I can admit that's a pattern I see constantly. It's a pattern that serves me well, that kind of horseshoe up and cup and handle pattern. So again, if anybody's got any questions, please, let me know. Fire away. Take a look at, if not, anybody that's been here, they know I'm working on the scan. Call it a 520 cross. It's a 5 SMA crossing a 20 SMA on a 5-minute chart. It's not perfect. It's not exact. And the cross isn't actually the alert. It has to do with the filter, where I'm trying to find the 5 and the 20 close to each other, with the 5 just under the 20, and then making a new 5-minute high. So kind of good and bad and ugly with this scan today as well. And again, if anybody wants to chime in with questions, please do so. But MMSI, this one, really weird chart here. Something I don't like from the scan over the last couple of days. Some of these ugly charts on the daily, I don't like that. This was a really weird tick. I went back in the time and sales with IB. I could not find anything in time and sales for that tick, so I'm not sure where that came from. something outside of market, outside distance of market, probably a filter like that would have blocked anything like that. But the alert came in before that happened anyway. So just an odd note from that. I was discussing with some people earlier. CMC came in through this, got in the money briefly, got back in the money briefly, and then a release. Nothing great. Zyme, this one worked out well. Moments after the alert came in here, made a great pop, and it was up there for most of the day. I'm not sure what that was all about until it gave it back up again. A lot of the charts in this scan are coming in. They're like this. So when I've tried to back test and optimize a scan to get it with charts that are more in an uptrend, it doesn't really give me almost any trades to work with. So, I keep tearing down the scan and trying to start it from the beginning again, and I can't get the results like I do in the back testing the way it is right now. So we'll see what happens in the coming days with it. If we get a few updates, maybe it'll show me something better than it's shown me this weekend so far. Again, nothing special here, just a few pennies, 10 cents up, 11 cents up, whatever it is there. Same kind of theme all through here. So some ugly charts that are coming through. So while it's back testing beautifully, the results haven't been what I wanted to see so far in the 2 days that I've run it this week. 3 days. Today's the third day. Sorry. This one a little bit better. Got a little bit more into that money there. Again, the same kind of theme. Starts to make a move. Doesn't make it early. Making it a little later here. And again, I think one of the big problems with the scan is it's finding all these things in a big downtrend. But my issue is trying to build this scan in an uptrend, just not giving me any trades based on what I'm trying to do to find a cross alert. So I think that's a big review from that. I think SGH actually worked out to be decent. This worked out to be a decent alert. I didn't check out the rest on the closing here. The money briefly here, not bad actually off the alert. COLB. What that looks like. Yeah, and by a few pennies here. And again, nothing realistically tradable. And 44. Again, nothing realistic. My idea is to eventually try to automate this. We'll see what happens. And so it shows things like this, and this is what it looks like in the back tester here. So just to give you an idea what I'm doing in the back tester, I don't start it till 5 minutes after the open. It's a 60-minute hold or a 5.15 profit target. There is no stop loss in it, so it's a hold or that. We're testing it all the way back out, the full data. Simulate the buy. I'm just going to put that on another screen because it might take a while here with everything that I'm running. And so that's kind of what I got going on for all that. So let's close that window down for now. I don't see any more questions coming in. It's 4:05 now. No questions coming. I will shut this down at 4:30. Keep the questions coming. Keep me engaged. We'll keep going. So take a look at some of the things that I was looking at today with a curated list. Wasn't so hot today. The gap up really affects things that I do sometimes. So, this gap up, wanted to alert here, but of course it's a chase, caught the moving averages and didn't finally start to show some life till later in the day once those moving averages was caught with ZUO. Same kind of concept here. Makes a big early move, pulls back into the moving averages, grinds its way up the rest of the day. So not a bad alert. Had to sit through some pain. Ended up being an okay alert. LTHM gave it up hard. Came banging right back down. All the same kind of stuff going on here. So, boy, I'm running slow right now. Let's see if I can do anything to speed myself up. I'm going to shut down IB. See if that helps. So I'm going to close some tabs and got open here. Same concept here. Big gap up by the time the moving averages catch it, and it starts to make a move back up, late in the day to try to catch those moving averages. So that's why, a lot of times you get these big gap ups. I often think of someone once told me that most stocks have put in their highs and lows for the day by shortly before 11 p.m. or shortly before 11 a.m. in the morning. So when you see stuff like that, hard to go chasing that. 44 off that alert, not a bad alert on that one. A little bit of money we had on that. Never really any pain after that alert came in for me there. LXRX, this was a steady climber for a bit, then gave it up. So technically closed 5 cents on the money. This is a list that I'm curating and I'm testing it to see how well I can do. Very simple alert. That's IB just saying they're not linked to me anymore. Sorry, close some things to see if I could speed that back test up. I wanted to show you all and share it what it looks like as I continue to optimize every night a little bit. BCRX, same kind of thing. Not too bad. 1534. Never really any pain off that alert. So, again, using my trader's eye to have a narrow list of stocks that alert. And then if you ask what this alert is actually doing, very, very simple. Configure. This is where it cuts both ways. Big gap ups, I think it doesn't do well with. In the Windows specific filters, all I'm looking at is stocks that trade at least 75,000 shares on the day. Got to be 75% above the low of yesterday's range. Strat doesn't start till 15 minutes after the open and has to have a 5-day average of 300,000 shares traded. So I update this list every day. That's kind of how I'm working. It's got to be making a new high on the day. Selected alerts. And that's where we're at for that there. So this is the way I mostly use the platform. Same kind of concept box, kind of caught the top of that, unfortunately. So some mixed results, some good ones. SLI worked out very well. Alerted at 10:02. Topped out here around 10:50. So nice 50-cent piece. VET, I didn't see what this did. Kind of bought the top on it. It closed right around there anyway, so kind of closed flat. Bought the top on it. Kind of closed just below. And last one of the day, closed 359. Not realistic to buy that alert, so kind of disappointing that did that. Probably have to. I believe in the way it's set up though for going live, it stops buying at 3 o'clock on that. So thank you, Mike C. And of course, fire away any charts that you got there, Mike C. as well. I'm a boring trader. I like to keep things boring for me. I almost traded any today. Was it a good thing I didn't? Looks like it was a good thing I didn't. I was going to get it on. Where was I going to get it? I was going to get it on this pullback here, actually, as a matter of fact. And I would have just had a few minutes to get out on it. So I said to some other people today, and he was taking out the highs from the last couple of days. I said nothing between that and here now except sellers. And well, the sellers had their say and they did it. So I didn't go chasing it. I wanted it on that pullback. I just wasn't convinced the way it opened on that candle. So I didn't take it. And hindsight trading worked out for me. So again, kind of quiet in here. My back tester's still plugging away real slow on me. I'm not really sure why. I know why. I have these windows open. I was running the TI strength alerts. Like I said, it's coming down the pipe for you guys. Any day now, you're going to be able to load these up. This TI strength alerts, all right? So it's everything that was through that today. These are daily alerts. So that's why it says at 9:30 a.m. because that's what alerted this morning on it. And another one that Michael created that you guys are going to get is a daily RSI divergence scan. All right. So there's not a lot to these. They're not pretty, the windows, but some powerful stuff that's going on here. So you guys will have these in the next few days. RSI divergence daily for long, RSI divergence daily for short. That back test completed. So, the back test shows me it's promising. The equity curve isn't what I really look at for a back test. What I look at is this daily here. We got a lot more winners than we do losers. So we'll see how it shakes out. The odds work out that when I see a couple of dailies that look like this for the losers, this is what happens the next few days. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It'll unfold and we'll get an idea of it. So a lot that went into the scan. spent a lot of time on it, so we'll just see. Hey, Chris, can you go over setting up windows inside dock like what you've got now? I was working putting one together. What stuff I put in dock kept taking up the entire dock space. Yes, absolutely. So let's do this. I am going to close a bunch of stuff here, all right, because I'm kind of struggling right now with my speed, and opening up more stuff is going to mess me up more. So let me drop some things here and see if that helps out. All right, we're going to duplicate a chart to a free floating window. We're going to duplicate this into a free floating window. They're popping up on other screens, so don't mind that. We're going to duplicate this into a free floating window. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3. All right. Now I'm going to duplicate it into a new dock. So I right click, duplicate into new dock window here. And now I can get rid of that. All right. That popped into a new dock for me on another screen that I'm going to bring over. Okay. Now we've got the new dock. All right. I just want to shrink this a little bit more. There we go. So it's more manageable. All right. We're going to duplicate this. So now we don't want into a new dock. All these docks represent a dock that I've created. So I believe this is the one I want. No, sorry. Duplicate it into this. So this here is the first dock that I ever created. All right. This will be the last dock that I've created. So now it's in there. So they're tabbed right now. Okay. Stay with me on this. All right. So those are tabbed into there right now. Last one we want to get, so I can get rid of that now. All right. And the last one we want to get, this one here. All right. This is free floating. We're going to duplicate it right into here. So now all 3 are tabbed there. All right. So these are the 3 that I'm working with. They're tabbed. Now start to pull the tabs out. All right. Now we have it here like this. And now I can take it and I can dock it how I want using that tool right there. So whoop, you can see it's trying to take. So for example, I could have it like this. Now they're side by side. All right. And I can take this one. All right. Now I can put this one if I want like this. Just give me a little bit. There we go. If it's giving you trouble at first trying to get the tab, pull it, let it go. All right. Then pick it back up. And I find it's best if you pick it up from this left kind of corner here. Seems to work the best for me. All right. But you know, all these things that we can do in here. All right. And that's how we would dock it. And if I want to put something else in, let's just say, for example, we're going to create a new alert window. Doesn't matter what it is. All right. So now I've created let's say I'm working on a new alert window and I want it to come into this dock. I'm going to right click it. Remember that the dock that we're working with is this dock. All right. Each dock will go in order. So first created dock, second created, third, fourth, fifth. All right. And there it is. Now it's tabbed here. So let's just say I just want these 2 scans. I want to tab back and forth between these scans. So I'm saving real estate in the dock. I can do that too. All right. But if I want the scan to come out, I can pull it out. All right. There it is. And now I can dock it here. And again, you know, got to play with it a little bit to get it in. Having a wider dock too helps. So you might want to widen these things up when you're trying to get things docked. And there, boom. And it's docked that way. I do, Mike C. I do that if I can do that. No. Yeah, I'm gonna be at. Email me there, and that'll get directly to me. The generic, you know, that I mostly work with is the just the info. My generic. That's the generic that gets to all of us. So, Dan, let me know if that helped you. And then, I can't remember, Dan. Did I share with you the videos on docking? I just drop them in here anyways. Never hurts. Um, where are you? So this is the one that Brad Williams did, one of our developer extraordinaires, and of course one of the founders of Trade Ideas. And this is one that I did. So just give you some different ideas of what's going on in these docs and whatnot. So get rid of that. And again, if anybody's got any questions, please jump on it. All right, just looking back at Holly, not a bad day for moderate wise. And today was a moderate profit kind of day, looking at the market overall. Perfect, Dan. Excellent, excellent. And, don't forget the user guide too, all that. So, SOX, that's our semiconductors. Are they trying to make a move? Range bound for a long time now. I mean, overall, pretty straight up after COVID as far as semiconductors go. Like I said, I was very bullish of the semiconductors of the fact that there's just not enough chips to go around right now. So you figure supply demand, simple economics would push these prices through the roof. But boy, was I wrong. That's one of your leaders today. Change from close percent on the sectors. SMH just a touch behind it. So SOX coming at 3.1 on a change from close. SMH coming at 3% change from close, and very, very mimicky of each other on those. XHB, your home builders. Probably no happy accident. In my evening scan, I saw a few home builders this morning. I say evening scan, but I tend to do most of my scanning in the mornings now. I like this. Love to see it. Love to see it get above that 50 average for the home builders, and you might find what is it? KHB, is that one of our home builders? KBH. So many stock. There we go. KB Homes. Yeah, KBH. So we'll see if that can't get up. Some similar pattern in there. Much lower on the chart, but are we trying? I don't know, but I'd love to see it get to that level, to see it then challenge that level. So one of those stocks that can move too, for sure. Definitely can have a lot of alpha, or take that elevator shaft down too, as you can see here on that daily. So home builders might be something to watch. We'll see. And I think lumber was doing something again the other day. Silver, I don't know what to make of the precious metals. Silver at least has practicality uses in the real world with being put into chips and things like that. But I mean, it's a lot of work on this chart to get through for anything silver wise. But I was talking with Andy this morning specifically, me and him back and forth, and miners. I had so many miners, gold miners. Usually gold and silver go hand in hand. I had so many of them coming through my evening scan this morning. I mean, there must have been a dozen of them, out of 40 names to have, a dozen in the miners. It's like, do you get bullish on them? I don't believe in them as a hedge for anything. If a chart is tradable, a chart's tradable. So, appreciate that, Mike. I'll load that up and I'll check that out when I get a chance here and see what the difference is between the filters that I got and what you got going on there. I have so many versions of that now because Barry has changed it like 4 or 5 times. So, I can't keep up with Barry in any sense of the form. I don't know how that man does what he does. But back to silver, it's just hard. It's gapped up now above that 50-day moving average. You got the 8 crossing the 20 here on the daily. All these bullish things that are happening, and it's like, every time you want to get bullish of it, this is what happens here. That happens. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. XLB, sure, materials. Materials and home builders, I think no happy accident that they're kind of moving in hand. So is one going to lead the other? And again, the market looks for leaders. What's going to be the leader to take this market back to all-time highs if we are to do it before year's end close? Take a look at the XLK. Technology. Something I'm usually generally bullish into. Um, Fighting with that 50 SMA. I think tomorrow, if we can get a good day on that, taking a shot back at, I believe that's all-time highs, right? Lifetime high. Yep, 160. So, not far off of it. The way of the world, technology is always moving forward. So now it's, you can see the sector might be on your side if you're looking at, let's say, custom computing stocks, different cloud stocks, things of that nature. You might find some alpha in some of those. Silver junior miners, we'll just look at it for fun. Same kind of thing here. Again, every time you think silver is going to do something, it's almost textbook double top right there. That doesn't count. That was, I'm guessing, Wall Street's bets nonsense. So with the exception of that, you got a textbook double top through there. Silver, I don't know what to make of it. Gold, again, I don't know what to make of it. And you can't do anything with gold. I get it. It's a hedge, but why is it a hedge? Because somebody said so. I don't know. I just never got it. I'll trade it, but I just don't get it. That's kind of my gold sense. We've got, this is information, Vanguard, looking strong here, I think. And I've seen, things like, for example, costs, they all kind of go in together. This had this massive move the other day. I think you find some other like video and technology stocks that have to do with information that's like that. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. IYT, your transports. You have all those ships, those containers that have been stuck and truckers can't get to them. And, most of us, I think, have seen the videos of these things. And we'll see what happens getting all that stuff moving, getting these supply chains undone, getting them back and moving. Is that why we have this fade here, this kind of lull that goes into here? Do we get that fixed and we start to make that move up? I think that's your level. Above that, we can start to really make a move here. So, these are kind of the sectors that I'm looking at that if we're gonna get market leadership again, these are gonna be the sectors that do it. Right now, it looks like. The XLF did a top out on us now. Kind of hard call here. What are we going to do with the XLF? We're bumping right up against all-time highs again. It looks strong to me. Had this gap down, took it right back up, holding these momentum lines, holding, my momentum line. I like the 8 EMA. Came down, pierced it, got right back up, closed above it again today. So take a shot tomorrow. We'll see. Fridays are a tough day to make any call. People heading out to wherever they head out, early weekend, short days, so on and so forth. I see the numbers dwindling, so I must be boring everybody to death here. If anybody's got questions, they want a chart looked at, fire away. We've got a couple of minutes before I shut down. And, let's just tie it all back in. Let's look at the RSP. For those that don't know, the RSP is the S&P 500, but equally weighted. And a beautiful day on the RSP. Strong close. And, I think this is kind of a big deal here. Just going to draw a line. That's going to line right up across here. And again, no happy accident that happened. That coinciding with that. We make a move through that and, pretend like I'm a CNBC personality for a moment. I think we'll take a shot at all-time highs if we can make a move through that on the RSP. The reason I look at the SPY less now is because the SPY has just got so much of this. Has so much of this weighted in it. And while you have a decent day on Apple today, you got to fight this 50 SMA and, a bunch is going on here with Apple, another one, that is a ugly chart. For a long time too. Talk about downside momentum. Just boom. Can't even get it there. Rejected. And today it closes on it essentially. So, can't do much about that. That's for sure. It's hard with those heavy weighted averages to do that. But what I will say is that the Qs doing what they did today with Facebook just kind of slopping around is impressive. All right. Take a look at the Googs. So that's, this is a much more impressive chart. Google looks better than Apple and Facebook for sure, as far as this kind of stuff goes. So, does Google take the baton from Apple and Facebook and lead the NASDAQ higher? What do we look like in Amazon? Amazon's a little more of an anomaly to me always. There's so much going on with Amazon. It's a technology company. It's a retail company. It's a cloud computing company. I mean, just they literally do everything. It's kind of insane. Serious range for a long time on Amazon, though, on this daily. You trade stocks at this price, you're probably feeling good about it most of the time. Great range to trade. I don't know. Does this resolve itself higher? You've got ranges within the range too. You can almost say right here's another range where we're right up against in the price action right now. Look at that. So you got a range and a range. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. I think that this is a foregone conclusion that we won't see that again, barring a catastrophic event. Get rid of that. And it's kind of the tail of the tape, if you will. See anything else coming in? Thanks, Mike C, for sending it over. I will definitely take a look at that. See how that does or does not match up with what I got. I can't remember if I reloaded my layout this morning, and maybe that's why I'm missing some things or not. All right, so we're at 4:29. If there's no other questions in here, I will call it a day. Give it my going once, going twice, sold 3 times moment here. I see nothing coming in. All right, so appreciate everybody who's here. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate the interactions. Always very grateful for that. As I mentioned before, Trade Idea software. Just happened to pop in at the last moment here. I do this every day, Monday through Friday, 3:30. I start up the live stream. Pop in, say hello. Subscribe to our channel. You never know when I'm going to do a late night broadcast or Q&A. Like I said, sometime in the not too distant future here, probably 7 o'clock, I might say, let me start up a stream and see who's around. So you might catch me on that too. So, all right, everybody, thank you very much. And I will catch you all tomorrow to close out the week. Appreciate it. And have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Friday junior evening. Bye-bye.